Hello guys and welcome back. I'm gonna make sure we're recording. Yeah, we're good. Welcome back. Now, let me close the door here. I am nearing completion of the sheeting of the wing. And one of the things that I've told you guys many times is that when you're building this, it's very important that you use the longest pieces and fit this so that these actually join in the middle, right about in here. You're going to go 2 full sheets, and then you're going to go 3. You're going to stagger them. One will go this way, another one will go this way. So what I mean on this is we're going to fit this piece in here to go here. And when we get done with that, we're only going to have 1 small piece. Now if I did this, we'd have 2 pieces, and that's not okay. So basically what I'm doing here, my friends, is I'm going to go, and it's not dry enough to pull yet. Now, what I've done here is I use these sticks as like a spreader. And they're a good idea, and the reason you do that is because you don't want any scalping of the wing. And I did glue the bolt in, and it is tight, and this thing is extremely strong. But one thing I want to remind all of you is that all these pieces and this tape that's on here, if you use the painter's tape for your tape hinges, when you do this, you can peel it right off, and then you wind up having an extremely clean and beautiful glue joint, which is actually what we all want. And then when you sand this, they will all disappear. But the one thing is getting all this to this point takes a pretty good amount of time, and you want to pull this off after it's sat for about an hour. And the reason is so you can come back and clean up any excess glue that's in here. Once this is glued in this joint, these planks are extremely strong. There's no chance of this breaking. Now, one thing is that we are going to get ready to do is we're going to have to sand these. And you'll notice I sheeted this on here so I can get the lines good in here. And I will fill those and sand those to that line before I glass it, because I like to finish the edges. And it's a preference. You don't have to do it that way. But I'm telling you guys, once you see this thing, once you get this thing sheeted, the size of this thing is going to blow you away. It's big. And I say that all the time, but guys, man, this thing is just so cool. And I'm getting excited. And mainly for the reason being is because now I'm seeing all the work that's gone on in here is paying off. This is a big airplane. It's taken a year and 4 months to get it to this point. And it was worth every bit of time put into it. You guys have seen some pretty awesome, you've seen some pretty good building action when I'm not sniveling and pissing them on about everything else. But the one thing is that, you know, I'm a normal person, normal thoughts, and this is the way it is. Now, there are a few things, and these are all done. I showed you guys the pockets and what this does. These are all done, and once they're glued and epoxied in, they fit beautiful and they work good. They're nice and tight. But there's enough room in those pockets to put some glue down in them. And I'll do that. And then I will simply unbolt them, take these off, and then I'll glass these. Now, a lot of you guys, I'm going to cover the aileron in the next, on the next deal on how I actually hinge those. And I'm going to show you how I sand this smooth, and then once I get that contour sanded into that aileron, then I'm going to show you how I do these gap seals, and it really makes them nice. Now, the one thing that I want to bring up to everybody's effect here is that we got the wingtips to do. The wires are hanging out here for the lights, and all the rest of the wiring and everything is all done and neatened up in there, and it looks really nice. So what we're going to do here now, we're going to do a little bit of trimming after this glue dries, and these need to stay. You can actually push on this tape and see that you can actually push these seams back in together. You can see it with your fingernail, and you can actually push those in and get them where they need to be. You can do this in several ways. I'm using the Gorilla Glue on this, and I've gone through a lot of glue just doing the wings. And you can laminate your wing tips if you like. I like to do them that way. I use all my scrap to do it, or whatever it takes. I am going to order a couple blocks, 12-inch by 2-inch blocks, 2 by 2 by 12. And I'm going to cut and shape my wings, and then I'm going to order some 1/4 inch by, I'm going to order some 1/2 inch thick, 1/2 inch by 3 by whatever to do the leading edges, or I'll go down and I'll see what they got in the local hobby shop for blocks. Now, there is some training up to do on this before we do the leading edges, and that'll clean this up. But I'm going to have to do some modification right here because I followed what was on there, but the wing decided it was going to be something else. So I've got to add a little material, and it's not a problem. It's just little things. And the wing, this airplane is brick solid, fellas. I mean, even without guys, I'm telling you right now, you could probably stand on these wings. I wouldn't do it, but give it Bobby support. I'm guessing these wings will probably more than likely support well over 300 pounds. And that is good because these are the strongest wings I've ever built, guys. In the down here 40 years I've been building, I've never seen a wing so strong. Very little filling. Gonna take a little body work to get them all done and straight and trued up and all this other stuff. But guys, this is getting exciting. Once I get done here, you'll notice I have a pylon on the other side. The other one will fit right on here, and there are not gonna be any issues whatsoever. Now, the next piece I'm gonna put in is gonna go actually this way. And I'm gonna have to do a little trimming on here, I guessed on this, and that's fine. But what I'm going to do is this one will actually go this way. Then I will have one piece in here. And that's it. This airplane is just about done with the sheeting. And then I'm going to start working the tanks over as I have time to do them, because I am going to be doing a lot of body work on the wings and everything and getting everything just right before glassing. And that will take a little bit of time. And I think one of the biggest things and one of the coolest things about this jet is because it is so freaking monstrous. And if I didn't say it again, it's big. But anyway, the thing is, guys, I'm going to tell you, when it comes down, you got your references and all these other things that go along with this airplane. I can tell you, I mean, it's like I said, in the 40 years I've been building airplanes like this and stuff like that. One of the coolest things about this build is the fact that it is just, it's unreal how strong it actually in fact is. And it actually does lend itself to being just the perfect platform for just about anything you want to build at this point. Now you guys have seen how I've done the nodulars and all that stuff like that. You guys have seen with everything that's been dry fitted. But now with all this stuff being done, you're going to notice I've done some work on the tail. I've gotten all the doors and all these other things made and everything ready to pinch fit. I've got a lot of glassing to do. And so, and this goes for all the other things. I still got an aileron to sheet and build. I've got just enough material to get that done. Plus a few other little items like pods, and hopefully we've got enough material to do a lot of these other pieces and parts. So, one of the neat things that I want to remind you guys of is it's about what you're willing to put into your model. Yeah, and it's going to be what you get out of it. This thing lends itself so much into the perfect platform, like little things like gear doors and things like that. So that, And little things like landing gear pieces and parts that come out, because this thing will look just freaking amazing when it's all completely done and finished up. It's gonna finish off amazingly well. And I can tell you, I mean, you guys cannot possibly go wrong on building this airplane this way. I mean, I don't get paid from Mears in any way, shape, or form for this. This was all done because of it. And so now we're going to talk a little bit about the history of this jet and how it got here and the people involved. And you guys, we're going to revisit a little bit from the very beginning of everything that went on. And I want you guys to, I want everybody to just kind of recognize that I gone through some hardships in life and in time, and things went a little bit crazy for me when I broke my back. And I met Mears. Basically, I was building a Zeroli Spitfire, and we lost that in a fire, and we lost the whole entire shop, as a matter of fact. And one of the biggest things about that was so kind of surreal about it is that when I was doing the details, I had no idea how to rivet and do all this kind of stuff. So I ran across Don Rice, and I found out who Mears Sets was. And this is actually the thing, he was still building Meister scales and several other types of jets that were out there. And he was just getting into jets. As far as I know, he built a Wildcat, a P-47 that was just gorgeous. And what happened was I was actually watching YouTube, and I found a guy named Don Rice that was actually doing a top flight P-47. And I watched that video probably 10 times before I figured out who Mears Sets was. And then when I found him, I got his stuff. And that put me on the map as a builder, because the fact is that airplane was gorgeous. It actually still hurts my feelings a little bit. But that being aside, this one is so much better. This is all Mears. And this thing is done, and Diamano and all these guys that really put their heart and soul into this thing really made a huge impact, not only just in my life, but everybody else's. At the last count, there's not very many followers. And you know what? Most of you are builders. And I think one of the coolest things about this, I got to meet people like Bob Moore. That is just one of the most amazing fiberglass. Falker, RC, and all that. And guys, on planes I'm going to build in the future, this isn't the only airplane I'm ever going to build, obviously. I'm going to build a big quarter scale, you know, at the 190 someday, and that's one of my favorite planes, and there's a lot of other little things going. But I was favored to go to Top Gun with the P-47. I was expected to go, and it was, I couldn't, because I lost the airplane. And this airplane, as crazy as everything went, I went and I ordered this airplane, and Mears brought this kit in his luggage. And we blew an engine up on the way just outside of Mobile, going into Pensacola. We were at the battleship, and we lost the engine in the Cadillac, and we got stranded there for 10 days and missed Top Gun. The airplane was there. I was expected to be there. Anyway, I paid for the airplane, and a guy named Scott Prosson, who was revisiting the very first episode here. I had both my girls, my daughters, sitting there, and we thanked Scott for doing this. And one of the biggest thing is that we come out and we rolled with this, and we got the ball rolling. So Scott Prosson actually did ship the plane, and it wound up being a wonderful situation for all of us. He wound up being just a hell of a great guy. And now we are being followed with this build, me from having hair down the middle of my back to this now playing rock and roll and all this other stuff to coming back and actually going full time into building jets. So here we are. A year and a half later, we have built this great big monstrosity of an airplane. And it's been a focal point for a long time. And a lot of people around here locally in Washington State have seen it. They love it. But the problem is with this is there's not a lot of builders anymore, and that really sucks. And I think one of the things that really kind of irks everybody about all of it is that you guys are more than capable of building this airplane, and there's no reason not to. I think one of the biggest things with everybody is knowing what your limitations are. And when you're building scale jets and you're starting to build things that are really awesome and really starting to show something that really is a part and a reflection of you and your personality and everything that's good in your life, I can tell you guys, guys, I'm just going to show you. This airplane was built without a huge shop. It was built without a big shop. There was no need for it. The airplane comes apart in 7 pieces. It comes apart right here. Biggest section's right there. The other one's a little bit longer. All the parts come off. They store very easily, and this thing will fit in my closet upstairs. I live in a small place, guys. And with all this being said, once the gear's all retracted and everything's done, I put these in wing bags after I make them and all this stuff like that. This airplane will fit in just about any car. It has a 2-piece fuselage and everything else. And there's a lot of things that are going to be absolutely incredible with this because, well, guys, we built this ourselves, and we built it without any, we built it with nothing more than a few hand tools, sanding blocks, a lot of sandpaper, guys. You're going to go through a lot. A few saws, a few specialty things that you got to have, but really, guys, I don't have a drill press, I don't have any band saws, I have no belt sanders, I got nothing. Every bit of this airplane's built by hand. And I got a reason I'm going to tell you that. Because now if I find my little saw, guys, this is all you need to build this airplane. And some rulers and micrometers and stuff like that. Rulers, absolutely. Gonna need a few little tools like this. Normal screwdrivers, pliers, and if you got crimpers and stuff, you're into all this stuff, you're gonna do it. This is my machine shop, guys. This is what I use to build this airplane for the most part. My shop here is almost not big enough for this airplane. But I made it work. I've moved the airplane 3 times since we started building it. And you guys have seen this. I built it in the basement until it just got too dirty to have in there. It was, don't make the Hulk angry. I mean, that's what I call my better half when she's fed up with the dust. And even down here, we gotta keep it cleaned up. But anyway, the main thing is, guys, I've met some of the most incredible people on the face of this earth building this airplane. And so, we're gonna finish this little part of the build. And we're gonna build some aluminum hatches for a few things. We're gonna do some adjustments, and we're gonna do some other things, and we're gonna get some doors and some hinges and things, but this is all gonna be a new series. Guys, the build is basically done. It's basically done. And by this and that, with everything that's been done here, I've showed you guys everything that I know. I've given you all the advice, and basically all the advice I could probably give you. Yeah, I probably drove a few of you crazy. But you know what? I can't think of a better way and a better amount. I just cannot think of a better way to pass the time. Some people gamble, some people do this, some people do that. Guys, I love building. I love this. I'm very passionate about this hobby. I love doing it. I enjoyed the video series with you guys. And I'm going to start a brand new series, and that's called some detailing. And we're going to start by building some of the coolest things that I can actually think of. And one of them is going to be the tub for that jet, for this jet. I'm going to start getting that stuff done and actually built and ready to go. And we're going to start ordering some pieces and parts for whatever I can get my hands on. And we're going to start building some cool interior things. And we're going to press on. And I think one of the coolest things about this whole entire build, guys, I got quite a bit of money tied up in this. I could probably build 5 Zorleys for what this thing costs to build, truth be known. But I own airplanes out at the airport that cost less than this airplane to build. But to have a possibility of a world championship and all these things with everything that everybody's done for this jet. And I'm talking Carton Alexander, who built the nose gear and the main struts. I want to thank ProLink Landing Gear for the Hercules models that they built that I find to be just outstanding. I want to thank Mears Models, Damiano, and all of you guys. Mr. Top Gun himself, Peter Goldsmith, for advice. Frank Tiano, all you guys that have kept me on my toes. All of you guys that have kept me on my toes. Keep me inspired. I'm thanking all of you, and I invite everybody to see my new channel and my next deal. This build will stay on here for all of your references and everything. Guys, on my next video series, it's going to be a little bit different, and it's going to be about building and finishing and modifying parts to make things more realistic and everything else. And it's going to be a whole new, it's going to be a brand new series. So on behalf of Northwest Aviation and the Dahlgren family and all of you that have watched, stay tuned for the next one. And as it is, you guys are going to see where I start actually finishing the F-86, and we're going to start building some other cool stuff and getting other things going on. I just want to say thank you. And thanks for watching, guys, really. This has been a very long and crazy series, I know. But you know what? We made it through it, and by golly, we're going to go and we're going to make this jet just incredible. The next series is going to be about, the next series is the sport jet conversion, and we're going to actually go through and actually treat this as it is, and we're going to start building in. I will cover doing panel lines, rivets, lighting, a lot of different things on the next series, and it's going to go pretty quick. The build is done, guys. It is actually in fact done, and I love doing it. And we're going to cover the rest of the things, the second phase of the build. And basically what that's going to do is it's going to give us all of the things that we need and all the tools we need to make this jet just absolutely spectacular. And that'll be covering the aluminum gear doors, the hinges and making those, and all the rest of the flight systems and all the things, getting this thing ready to rock and roll. We're going to start building the cockpit and all these other things. So, and we're going to be building a lot of things still on this airplane, but guys, the build's done. Other than the glassing, which I've already discussed this with you guys, I see no more. We're going to start doing, as of today, we will start building, we will be finishing this model and start doing the detailing and the little things that make it great. And I'm going to start covering what it's going to take and building certain things into the wings so that they actually do look like they are. And that's going to cover the speed brakes and everything else that we got going on in this jet. That's going to be on the rest of this build. Again, I want to thank all of you. If there's any questions, mail me. If you guys are on Facebook, friend me on there. Watch, I'm putting videos on there. But my build after today and with this wing being done is basically finished. So now it's starting to building it for scale and details and start getting everything going. I'm going to be covering everything in the next one. The paint, the weathering, you name it, it's going, masking it and going crazy with that. So anyways, guys, from Seattle, Washington, and the northwest corner of the United States, I bid you all the very best that life has to offer you. And thank you for watching. This has been a very long, very crazy run. Thank you. I'll see you in the funny papers.